All right, testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing, testing, testing. All right, we are in business, people. Let me send this link out for the new Automation Monday Hangout. Just hit to start my computer, restart my computer. That seems to do the trick if all else fails. Excuse me. But with that said, welcome to Automation Monday. Today is June the 11th. We are sure to have a good show today, a very good show. Um, we'll want to open up my links. We have quite a few topics to speak about today. My apologies, people. Un momento, por favor. I am opening the links for today. All right. We have a few things to talk about today that range from the things that are going on in China, more of automated robots, automated cars, automated kitchens, artificial intelligence. The list goes on and on and on as this beautiful globe keeps on turning. All right, I'm just getting our topics in order. Do-dum, do-dum, do-dum. I believe that is it. Let's see here. Okay. All right. And all right, got him there. All right. Um, Hold on a moment. So yeah, today we're gonna be talking about quite a few things. I lost one link that I want to speak about, but that's all right. I'm very sure I'll find it. Yeah. So today, on this Automation Monday, we have a few topics. Our continuation of last week, Mission AI Part 2 of a three-part series. And going on in China, we have China has a media center that has some pretty cool gadgets and things going on there. We have a robotic restaurant kitchen coming in. I tell you, this automation is coming in strong. It's like Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson Punch Out. Alibaba has some things going on. When do they not? Ford's trying to get into the automation car game. What else? We have some news, which was okay. Don't want to come up now, saying that start warning about automation of jobs, and this is something about low skill workers. So, with all that said, I am going to get right into the show. Okay, allow me. There we go. There we go. It came up. All right. Google is your friend, people. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I sent the link out again. Hopefully, people received it. If not, I believe. Oh, this is not. Okay. Okay. So, oh, this is not the one. There we go. All right. This on the YouTube channel CG and I mean a CGTV. Um, they are doing a three-part series about automation in China. Excuse me. Part one we spoke about last week. Part two is concerning automated intelligence. Um, they mainly talked about three things: the bionic eye, machinery and surgical procedures, and automated intelligence running an entire um, import. I forgot the name of the thing, but it's running the entire place where you unload the trucks, well, not the trucks, but the cargo from ships. But it's pretty cool. The I can't really play the video. I want to. I'll just okay. In this frame, I'm trying to make sure. If anyone come in, just let yourself known. Um, Anyone come in, just let yourself know. I will be going over this. In this frame, she speaks fluent. I want to say Mandarin. I don't. I can't detect the difference between Mandarin and Chinese when I hear it, but she speaks fluent. I'm just say Mandarin. She's talking about in this frame. She's talking about this robot. These two eyes right here are bionic eyes. So it is looking at her and detecting her, and she's testing it by jumping back and forth. All right, here we go. The two bionic eyes. So in this beginning sequence, she's speaking about how a few years ago China released a robot that was compared to today's robot was pretty primitive. The second generation, it can only it can see her, but if there were more people in the room, it would just focus on her. It would not recognize or it would ignore the other people in the room. But now, currently, with their new robot, which is this one right here with the bionic eyes, you see the difference. When there's other people in the room, it not only focuses on her, but also on the other people too. So it recognizes there's more than one person in the room, and it continuously follows them. The this I think it was this man. No, it was another man. They were saying that they are essentially building the basis of the brain, one part at a time. Trying to okay, him right here. They're essentially building the brain one part at a time. So they're starting with the ears, then of course they're going to move. But they're starting with the eyes, then of course they're going to move over to the ears and other parts. Let's see if anyone else has come in. Not yet. And they're they're making a case throughout this whole okay. They're making a case throughout this entire series. Let me see here. But they're making the case throughout the entire series that automation, AI, and the likes will not a replace jobs. It will be a trying to send out the link to my fellow um, co-hosts. Apologize, people. Okay, let me share that beautiful screen again. Yeah, they're making a link that automation and AI will not replace jobs, but also other people are saying that it has the capability of replacing job as AI gets more advanced. It gets more advanced in terms of it being self-taught and become more sophisticated and complex. That yes, in the long run, it will replace jobs. It's like a if you imagine thinking in the future, and the future is writing the history books upon this period. They'll eventually say at in the beginning there were um, robots that did repetitive jobs more efficiently than people, such as the first uh, assembly line. Robots did those jobs more efficiently, but they were pretty much dumb robots. So they only did one thing and one thing only. They only did that more efficiently. Then, as the years progressed, the later decades, automation got more sophisticated. Robots got more sophisticated, and artificial intelligence was implemented into the robots. So then that was the second stage, which I believe we're in now. But as the stages progress more and more, then yes, I do believe that, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, that more artificial intelligence will start replacing more jobs. We have another co-host. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. I saw this video. They talked about, like I said, talking about three things. First was the robotic eyes. Then she moved on to the surgery, the how robots in the surgery profession, and then she moved on to the I forgot the name of the entire entity, but it was all operated by artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I believe she was talking about the seaports with
Yeah,
the dockings with the docking facility.
yeah. With that part was pretty cool in itself, but with the googly eye, I want to say googly eyes, but that's how it was looking. But with the 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 eyes, the bionic eyes, how they showed the first generation and then the second generation. That was pretty cool. How the just second generation was able to see and recognize there were more people in the room and was able to continuously follow them. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do with camera sensors and CMOS sensors, and as well as the software, because the software largely would have to interpret the distinguishing between a human being and non-human being and things of that nature. That's really the core elements of it.
Mm-hmm, Um, and she did test it a little bit. Of course, if she didn't test it, people would have been speculative. But she did test. She did bring in more people. Um, when they covered their face, it didn't detect them. But as soon as they uncovered their face, and in terms of coming back into the view, their face coming back into the view of the camera, it did immediately, split second, redetect them again. Now, in the second part, she went to a surgical room where this man was suffering from epilepsy, and they um, identified a part of the brain that they need to do surgery on. So they were saying because surgeons may shake, all surgeons don't have steady hands, and plus that whole human error thing. They use robots that are more precise, that can drill in a precise in a precise spot to help with the surgery. And the surgery took about an hour compared to the same surgery without a robot that could have took upwards of, I think she said, 3 hours. Now that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you the movie that just came out over the weekend, Artemis, that's exactly what they are demonstrating in the movie. That the hotel that was largely set up was really turned into a automated hospital where one nurse can basically surgically suture up a person, as well as use 3D scanning on a person before they even enter the the surgical room, the trauma ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. If you ever get a chance to see it, it just came out.
I, w- I-
It's with the brother from Black Panther.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know some of the one with Batista and yeah. I wasn't gonna look at it because I thought it was just a regular uh action film. There's a lot of action films coming out, but now that you said that, I may take a look at it just for that. That's pretty cool. And in this in the second part of this video, she was saying that it's non-evasive. It's non-evasive. Is so, which means there's less chance of you getting an infection, which is pretty good. But that's pretty cool. A 3D scan without or by you entering the building. That's man, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, they actually have that stuff available on the market. It's just really expensive. I think either GE Health or what's the other company? I want to say Siemens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Siemens though. I think it's Philips Health. I think it's either GE or Philips Health that has it, but they have that capability already. Obviously it's going to be expensive, but
Yeah.
it already exists. So
But that's what I think. That's what everything was. Something first comes out, it's a little expensive, but as it permeates the market more, it gets less and less expensive. The third part of this second part in the series, the third part of I won't say third part, but the last thing she pointed on in this second part was the seaport. Now that was pretty nice. The entire seaport was ran by automated intelligence. So what happened? These I don't know the technical names of these large cranes, but I'm just going to call them large cranes. They would take the shipping containers or the containers off the ships, place them onto these automated trucks, and these automated trucks will place them where the AI software would tell the trucks where they need to go. Once the trucks get to where they need to go, then another large train would pick them up and place them where they need to be. That was pretty cool, especially because it she pointed out that there were, I guess, 60 up to 60 people that were running these large cranes, and now there are only 9 people running these large cranes, but they're not up at top. They're in the office space monitoring these cranes. Now, in my opinion, I keep saying in my opinion, but that's pretty cool. The entire one, and there was another seaport right next to it, which was more busy, more people, and it wasn't. I think she said it wasn't as efficient as this one. Now, what's your take on it?
my take is that you know this is the future. This is where it is, and this is where it's going. Eventually, more of China's seaports will eventually be transferred over into this. You know, they have seaports that are opening up in Pakistan, or I should say shipping ports that are opened up in Pakistan, Nepal, um, I believe Cambodia, not Cambodia, but Thailand, and then the rest of these places are starting to open up. China is starting to open up ports there, and eventually these devices will eventually take over as the ports are completed. Because as it stands right now, the ports aren't ready anyways to accept these this infrastructure that's in place. So
now, and as the video was going off, they let some people talk, and I keep hearing the same old narrative over and over again, how automation will free up. First, let me rephrase that. First, they'll say that no, automation will not, and be will not destroy jobs. Automation is not a job destroyer. It will help humans. It will aid humans. Then it goes from that to, well, automation will free humans to do more things because the jobs that are in the workforce now largely are non-creative, largely are repetitive jobs. And once automation slash AI free people from these non-creative, highly repetitive jobs, that will free humans to be more creative, to focus on more creative things. And that will in turn create more jobs because humans will focus on creative things. I keep hearing that over and over again. At first, like I said, it's a two-part singular narrative in terms. It'll go from no, it won't replace jobs, to oh, when it does, what if it does replace jobs? That means humans will have more free time to focus on what they want, on leisure. What do you think of that narrative?
So the objective is to allow human beings to have more free time. So take some of the menial tasks away from you so that you can go do something else. But eventually, when a robot is competing for your job, you really won't have anything else to do.
Or money to do it with. Unless
are you talking about the person or the company itself?
The money? I mean, no, not the money. The person.
Well, what I'm saying is that if that person can be replaced, then that person really didn't bring any value to the company.
Now the thing is, okay, let me ask you this: if that person is replaced, just like with this crane setup, she said first it was 60 people, now it's 9 people. So those the other 51 people, they are free to and what I'm about to say, I know some people are gonna laugh at. They're free to focus on creative things. They're free to focus on doing creative things, but they ain't got no money.
Well, they did. That's when you have a career shift, right? So most people in their lifetime will, between the ages of 18 and 55, will have 3 different careers that they've transitioned into. These people that are working the docks are largely underskilled labor that is not really useful for the career path that they're already currently in. So there are probably other places that that are still analog for the most part and have not transitioned into these automated docket, these automated seaports. So there'll be work for them later on down the line. But I mean, 20 years from now, those that automation will remove that whole entire career to begin with. So
now, won't that create a bottleneck of people vying for jobs? A large number of people vying for a limited amount of non-automated, non-AI jobs?
Not necessarily. So you have age discrimination that takes place too. So anybody who's over 40 to 40, well, I should say 40, but 45 years old, most companies are not going to even give you a call back, right? Because they want young, fresh labor that's going to come in and not really argue and not really challenge them and don't have the necessity to feed a family. You get an 18-year-old versus a 45-year-old, you're going to probably get the 18-year-old to call back because they're not asking for a whole lot. They can work for minimum wage and still live with their parents. Whereas a 45-year-old man who has a family, he can't work for the wages that are going to be offered.
All right. Now, in the second YouTube video you sent out, it was saying that it's name of it's from I think it's the same people. New China TV YouTube channel. New China TV. The title of the video is "Eye Catching Tech at SCO Summit Media Center." I saw the video. They were it's trying to get the whole building. I think this is no the building itself. She said is shaped like the tip of the iceberg. Well, the name of the building is translated to tip of an iceberg. Um, the building looks supposed to look like a tip of the iceberg, tip of an iceberg. It's a media center where uh, I forgot what she said specifically, but the technology in it has robots in it that are there to service personnel there. And actually, she once these little cameras, you're able to walk through. Just show your ID. Just have your ID showing. I'll show your ID. Walk through. That will minimize lines, and the camera will pick you and the ID up. Also, she trying to. I don't want to play the video to do the copyright strike. But I'm trying to find the robot that she um, was looking at. There's a couple different robots, but they are there to assist people, and if they have any questions, if they want to know where's nearest this, where's nearest that, this is one of the robots. Looks like a first generation robot, but it's pretty cool. You're able to talk to it. They will give you feedback. And there was another robot that dispensed beverages. I think it's right there. No, it's right here. Is able to dispense beverages. But this entire media center was pretty good because it's focused on media. It has high technology in it in terms of it's able to assist. It's I tell you, when I'm live, I lose my words. But if you can come on to help me explain this, it's in my mind, but I'm being stuck on trying to verbally explain this thing.
Well, what it's essentially doing is using it's using facial recognition technology as well as RFID technology to allow um, free flowing entry for people who are attending the event. If you weren't on the list or you didn't have any recognition, then those two security guards that you saw at the front lobby would actually escort you out or prevent you from coming in. I think that technology could be leveraged largely for law enforcement as well as public safety, right? So, from a law enforcement perspective, if they were looking for somebody in a crowded event, that level of technology would actually enable them to pick out exactly who they need to go after, rather than to stop a person who fits the description. Rather than fitting the description, you are that person.
Mm. That's yeah.
And from a public safety standpoint, you think about homeless people, then they don't have any identity. Well, a system like this would largely remove the doubt of who and which person they are encountering and how to approach them.
Because when she walked in, it was pretty seamless. She just walked straight in, like she said. Like I said, she just had her ID showing. She didn't have to stop and show the camera her ID. She just had it showing. She just walked straight in.
Yeah, especially for a high level event like that, that's where the technology is key. So
yeah, and okay, I'm trying to get a good frame on these robots. But there was two robots that they displayed. One, no, it was three robots. It was one handheld device, and what was one where it just told where if you had any questions on where something is, it'd tell you, hey, make a left here, go down there, blah blah blah, or it'll show you itself. Um, those was those were nice. I think we see those already today, but still, an entire building, the the progression is coming. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to keep in mind that this is homegrown technology that China is doing. This isn't like, oh, they bought it from the United States or they bought it from Japan. This is something that they did from the ground up.
Hmm.
So that's what they're trying to demonstrate is their level of capability of innovation is something that the world should pay attention to. That this is what we can do if you give us the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It was a pretty good. I'll leave the links in the description. It was a pretty good showing. She did a good job. Okay, this is a good one right here. Good picture. But she and this little camera assists in security. It's a panoramic camera and assists in security. So you have not only the fixed security cameras, but you have a moving security camera, which is good. But all in all, it was a good showing. Now our next topic. This comes from medium.com. Excuse me. The robotic restaurant kitchen. So is coming. This is from medium.com by Michael K. Spencer. The future of food is already here in takeout apps and restaurant automation. Oh man, this thing is coming on strong. Well, forget the robotic cook for your home. You have to think bigger. Restaurant automation looks far more promising. If the robot chefs are a fad, the automated kitchens and fast food restaurants are the future. Oh man. Fast food workers are particularly vulnerable to automation. Even healthy food and its prep can be automated. The Spice restaurants are really a case in point, which happens when a bunch of MIT students get together to solve a problem. At Spice, we've created the world's first restaurant featuring a robotic kitchen that cooks complex meals. We have created this concept in hopes of solving a problem we found ourselves facing, being priced out of wholesome and delicious food. Along the way, we've been lucky enough to add in some Michelin star magic with Chef Daniel Du excuse me, Boulud. We're excited to introduce you to Spice, open to the world at 241 Washington Street in Boston. Have you visited this place?
I haven't gotten a chance to, even though I live not too far away from it. I haven't gotten a chance to. I'll probably go this weekend.
Okay, okay. Yeah, next week you let us know how it was. Uh, Now they have a new place in Toronto as well. Basically, the semi-automatic recipe is showing how robots do have a place in the kitchen. After all, the odd part is those recipes and meals are cheaper and yet still healthy. We know the mid 2020s grocery delivery will okay anyway grocery delivery will be mainstream, but we don't know to what extent kitchens will be automated. There will certainly be competition in robot cooks and semi-autonomous kitchens. Culinary excellence elevated by technology, huh? Put This don't seem like it's well written. Push a touchscreen menu to purchase a $7.50 meal called Hearth. A blend of Brussels sprouts, quinoa, kale, and sweet potatoes tumbles from hoppers and into one of the pots. The pot heats the food using magnetic induction. The tips to dunk tips to dunk the cooked meat into a bowl. Water jets up. Water jets up to rinse it off before a new order begins. Now it's No, it's not crazy. This is coming to a city near you. Four engineers from MIT have opened a fast food restaurant in Boston that uses mechanical woks to autonomously prepare meals in under 3 minutes. We're not replacing humans. Oh, here we go again, per se. It's more like robots and humans working together. So the story goes. The project was born from the MIT engineering graduates' dissatisfaction with the high price tag placed on quality fast food. The healthy fast food is definitely affordable. Check out the menu of Spice. I would visit such a place if there was one in the city where I live, in Montreal, one of the highest student per capita cities in the world. I'm sure it won't take long. Discount Plus Health with the added advantage of being semi automated means this is one food chain that is destined for greatness. What the semi automated kitchen needs is a food brand that can take it to greater heights as a company. Spice, in this sense, could later be acquired by Amazon or Alibaba or someone like that. How does it work? Basically, it's it's as you'd expect. Customers place their orders using a touchscreen device inside the restaurant. Design gives a good explanation, which I reproduce here. Touchscreens, automatic kitchen tech, healthy recipes, speed and low cost. Then an ingredient delivery system or runner collects the ingredients and portions them before delivering them to one of the robot walks. The pre-portioned ingredients are then mixed in the cylindrical rotating drums and cooked at 450 degrees Fahrenheit using induction technology. The woks are set at an angle that allows the customers to watch their food being prepared in front of them. Once this process is complete, the pot tilts downwards and tips the food into a bowl. The only human intervention happens after the meal has been made and plated up, when extra elements such as sauces and toppings are put into the bowls. The machines then autonomously clean themselves, consuming 80% less water than the average dishwasher in the process. That's how it looks nice. Fast food with a splash of elegance and some help from your robot friends. Will this be the Starbucks for healthy foods? Subway's in decline, but KFC in China is following a similar trend to healthy eating. This is because millennials and Gen Z are way more health conscious about their food, about their fast food experiences. The automation makes the price more competitive. The healthy meal satisfies students and startup towns like Toronto and Boston, which can quickly scale to other places such as Austin, DC, Denver, and San Francisco. And you get the idea how this could take off. The future is food like mom makes, but by robots. Spice have us catchy headlines. The creators explain its culinary excellence elevated by technology. The robotic kitchen cooks meals ranging from rice or grain bowls to curries, salads, stir fries, pasta, and noodle bowls. Let's let the robots do their thing, and let's really be augmented by convenience. I won't stand in line at a McDonald's even to touch a screen. That's not how I see the future of fast food going down. You can subscribe to Spice YouTube. Okay, I'll put it in the description to stay in touch with it. I have a feeling if it's not this brand, this tech has some potential. The robotic kitchen is real. One last thing, you must be curious what your food at Spice could look and taste like, right? A Michelin starred chef named Daniel Boulud helped develop the menu, which includes cuisines and styles such as Thai, Moroccan, and Latin flavors. It seems therefore reasonable to imagine the food would taste good. And that's all right. So, automated kitchens, huh? Whew.
You seem like you're very interested in going to one of these places.
It sounds. I'm interested to to decide yay or nay.
Well, I mean, I think what's going to happen with these robotic restaurants is that people, it's going to be like Tesla, right? Only certain people can actually afford to get to actually go there and actually go to one of these restaurants. So it becomes exclusive, it becomes a club type of deal, and it's not going to be widespread. as people think, right? Or at least the article is alluding to, like, oh, it'll be here in DC and Boston and Montreal and Toronto and these places. But these are all places that have middle class incomes. If you're a low income person, you're not going to have access to that.
Mm-hmm. And these those high populated cities, and the statistics show in the future, a large portion of the world's population will be clustered in high populated cities. This is, man, like,
my only concern is what happens when, you know, when there's like a discrepancy in your order. You know, who takes care of that?
the one or two humans that that are behind the counter, and it seems like you when they say, well, it's going to be a few humans, that the humans are going to be the how should I put this, like the
helping hand.
Yeah, they're going to be the help, you know. hey, help this, you know.
Well, now you have humans being slaves to the machine.
Ooh,
right?
What's that? Oh man. Oh my god, I'm forgetting names. Terminator.
Well, I mean, what happens when the process says that, oh, you know, the human took too long to respond to me, or something to that effect? Maybe you might have been in the bathroom handling your business, and you know, robot was looking for you to take something to a customer in a restaurant, and you didn't get there on time. So the robot basically says, you know, terminate this person.
Because of efficiency.
Woo. Yeah, bring me more Mexicans or something to to that effect.
Some. Oh my god. I know.
You couldn't put a brother.
Right. I know McDonald's was doing the touchscreen thing, and I understand that they were not necessarily hiring in the future. Well, really now on, they're not going to hire select McDonald's, but it's spreading. They're not going to hire more people. They're just going to hire less people, and have the people that they are already hired, already working there. They're gonna just have them do more things. So they're gonna do this, do that, do this, do that, on top of making the orders that people touch on the screen, on top of handling discrepancies, which there's already people talking about, hey, you know, we're doing too much work and we're not getting paid enough. So then you mentioned the fact that a couple months, a couple weeks ago, how long? I don't know how long we've been doing this, but you mentioned the fact that, yeah, these people at these fast food restaurants such as McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's can ask for a higher pay, but who's to say, okay, if you ask for a higher pay, then we're just gonna find a way. We'll pay it to you, but we're just gonna find a way to, terminate you in the future and just replace you with a robot, or have the people that are left to have them do more work. It's almost like a catch-22 situation. But man, robots cooking the food. I forgot that robot on the Jefferson's name. Man, this thing is coming.
Yeah, I largely don't agree with this whole $15 an hour living wage movement that they have, because what that's going to do is that's going to make management or whoever owns the company speed up the process to go ahead and just replace you anyways. Yeah. I mean, you get $15 an hour now for maybe about a year, maybe 2 years from now. But what happens when the technology comes in and replaces you?
They gotta take that L and redo and retrain something else.
Well, you better off just getting 2 different jobs, in my opinion.
Which really what a lot of people do now. To tell you the truth.
Right, but if you go down to a restaurant like that and say, "I want $15 an hour," well, you know what? Don't show up on Monday because the robot just took your job. And that robot works. That robot doesn't take vacation. It doesn't need 401k. It doesn't need medical insurance and coverage and things like that. It doesn't need Blue Cross Blue Shield.
We have another co-host, Complex Design. How you doing? I think he's he probably eating his pizza.
I think he's just getting his headset together.
Yeah.
He eating his LA style pizza. That sucks.
Oh,
yeah, you got a bad connection.
You guys hear me?
You sound like a robot.
You might have to reboot your computer or something.
Yeah. You sound like a first generation robot, man. Yeah.
He probably can't hear you.
Yeah. But I understand when actually, to tell you the truth, when this whole pay the fast food workers was going on years ago, I agree with them. I say, yeah, why not? But I really wasn't. I was listening to the headlines and I had a very superficial view on it. I didn't have an in-depth view on it. But looking at it and weighing all the movable parts, weighing and knowing everything, yes, there are consequences to this, because with this on with this on movement of these robots coming and replace jobs, you really have to be careful. You can't be a Walmart cashier saying I want $18 an hour. You might be out of the job sooner than you think, because Walmart is saying, "Hey, we want to." Amazon opening up these cashierless stores, so we're gonna do the same thing. Yeah, we're gonna pay you $18 for a couple of months, but
Well, you think about Sears, Toys R Us. That's almost 100,000 jobs gone in the last 6 months.
And Sears just closed their last store in Chicago. They just closed
in Chicago. And Chicago's supposed to be the headquarters of Sears.
Yeah, they just closed their last store in Chicago. A couple of years ago, Sears was everywhere. Like, every mall, they not only were in malls, but they were in standalone buildings. Now, fast forward a couple of years, they're gone. It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, Sears and I can imagine they stock just like a penny right now. Sears to close. Yep, Sears to close. Last store in Chicago, the city they helped launch. This is April 13th, and a few days ago, in June, I saw on the news that its last store had closed. And that's big, man. That's big. You and I understand when people say, yeah, millennials, Gen Z, and Alpha generation, which is what they're gonna be going. The con generation is not Alpha, Beta, Charlie, but they're largely are gonna be working multi careers, but humans, people, they're not as fast to retrain. They're not as fast to want to do
adopt.
Yeah, they're not as fast to adopt, because we still got what's that? The silent generation. We still got the silent generation in the workforce. You know, and you know they're not going to adopt. A lot of the baby boomers are not going to adopt. A lot of Gen Xers is not going to adopt. Hell, a lot of millennials are not going to adopt. So they're going to be.
You know, I think it also has to do with American culture, right? Because they have no problem bringing in immigrant labor from Central America and as well as the Middle East, and they come here and they start a business and they get it popping really quick. Whereas Americans, they're like, nah, I want you to give me more money. I'm not going to start my own business. I want you to just give me more money. Give me $15 an hour. Give me a living wage. And you really start to think about it. Your time is ticking. 600,000 jobs they're predicting to be gone by 2020.
And that's a year and a half away.
And people are still walking around with picket signs and all the time you've been wasting with picket signs. You could have learned to code or make videos on YouTube or something.
And to be honest, to be honest with you, I was studying accounting. I'm changing. I'm changing that because accounting is going to be one of them fields that's not going to be as plentiful as it's not going to be as plentiful in the future. So I'm changing my degree to some type of computer.
Well, everything's moving to fintech now, so financial technology now. So you're starting to see new programs pop up at community college, or I shouldn't say community colleges, but state colleges and some of these private institutions about degrees in fintech. So financial technology, how to develop not new languages, but new technology for adopting blockchain and cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. That's the direction that they're moving in.
And that's right up my alley.
So now you're going to start to see more economics and accounting being paired up with database development and BI, which is business intelligence. So that's where the market is going to go.
I'm with it, man. I am with it, but still, come on now, tell me, this is not a shot right out of the Jetsons, right? Straight from the jet. I mean, the arms are hanging down from the ceiling. It got fingers. Look how it's holding the bowl. Look, this is, oh my God, this is the Jetsons.
Well, if you worked in a factory, right, any of these GM, Ford, or Chrysler, any of these auto manufacturing facilities, you've seen cobots before with arms like that, right? You know, they paint the car, they do all types of additional assistance, putting bumpers on, putting dashboards in. But if you're coming out of jail, if you're a black man coming out of jail and you've been in there since the damn 80s,
you done for.
And you walk into a place and you see something like that, that's a culture shock. Because you missed 2, 3, 4 presidents. You already missed a black president, and now you're walking. You know, when you went into jail, you know, the closest thing that you had to technology was a Sony Walkman. Now you come out of jail and people are looking at their phones. They're not talking to you. You go to a restaurant. There's nobody there to really talk to because there's a robot serving you your food. That's scary.
And those cobots that you just mentioned, they're gonna be out of a job. they gonna be gone. You know, they're gonna be. I should say they're gonna be. They're gonna be out of the job.
And now you have Waymo rolling out these automated shuttles and cars and stuff like that for Uber and Lyft. What are you gonna do now? Like if you're coming home from incarceration and you trying to put your hand out to flag down a cab, them cars are gonna drive right by you and they ain't gonna stop for you. That's not the way the technology works now.
This looks like a shot straight out of the Jetsons. I'm sorry. That and you know it's precise. You know it's on point. I want to play this video so bad, but you know what? Forget it. I'll just pause it. I mean, my pause is muted. And you see the little girls, you know they Gen Z. Oh, this is cool. Why they parents in the background saying, man, I'm out of a job. Wow. All them young kids.
Well, see, they can make that stuff, but they can make that stuff, but they haven't made a steak, egg, and cheese subs.
When that happens, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that happens, then they're gonna start diversifying into different niches, into different industries, into the different business of the food. When you say steak, egg, and cheese, then all these like Obon Ponds and Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my God, Dunkin' Donuts! It's everywhere.
The sub shops in the hood that sell steak and cheese subs and Philly cheese steaks and all that stuff.
Imagine Dunkin' Donuts. We have Dunkin' Donuts here in Chicago, but it's Dunkin' Donuts is native to the northeastern area, correct?
It's Boston.
But okay,
the headquarters is in Boston. It's right down the street from me.
It's mainly, you familiar with its menu? It's not complex.
It's not complex by design.
No, I'm talking about like, oh, that's funny. It's not. The menu is not complex in terms of, oh, I want this. It's pretty straightforward. That can be automated, which means they can slim down their, brick and mortar, and it could be just a drive-through base.
There's a difference between that automated restaurant and Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts owns a name and a brand. The rest of the restaurants are all franchised out. So it's not like, oh, well, they have, Dunkin' Donuts headquarters is sitting around trying to figure out a way to, automate the process. They largely don't care because they already sold the franchises.
Okay. They already sold the name game. But still, if that's the case, who's to say it won't be a person to say, I want to test this out. And I'm not saying it's going to spread that. If it works, it's going to spread by like wildfire. But other people are like, oh, okay, that seems pretty cool. Let me do that. Or I'm having problems with my employees. It's a high. It may be a high turnover rate. You just say, forget that. Just you weigh the options of it costs to train people or pay this, pay the insurance, or Blue Cross Blue Shield to go ahead.
Well, a franchise like Dunkin' Donuts or even Starbucks for that matter, part of what drives their traffic and their revenue is the human interaction. They like to come into a restaurant, sit down, open up their laptop, interact with other people. It's the human interaction that drives the the business. So things like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, they're usually pretty safe, from the whole automation scheme. Now, what would be different for them is the ability to order something before you even get in there and have it waiting for you by the time you get there. That's their ability to automate.
Ooh, that means apps. So you driving. Ooh, imagine this. Oh man, this is good. Imagine this. You driving and you say, man, I'm hungry. Ain't ate nothing since yesterday. And you pull out your handy dandy app, phone with the app on it, and say, well, I want McDonald's. And you type in you type in, well, not while driving. I want to say that. You type it in, and it shows the nearest McDonald's in your area and it sends the order to the nearest McDonald's. So by the time you get there, your food is waiting.
Well, that's a part of the data mining process as well as the data science process, right? So if you are accustomed to eating at 7 in the morning, and they know that you stop at one of these restaurants that have been mentioned, then what happens with Google is Google collects all that information. It knows what time you're going to work. It knows where you stopped at. It knows which bus and train you're taking. So it calculates all this stuff from an algorithm, and it says, "Oh, and by the way, there's a sale at Burger King or whatever it is. They're having a 2-for-1 today if you come in at this time."
A 2-for-1.
All of that information gets gathered.
Shit,
right? All that information gets gathered.
2-for-1. I gotta get over there. Not that I eat Burger King, but still, that's what people gonna think. This is a deal I can't refuse.
Well, they already have that. If you use the Grubhub or Eat24 app, it tells you that. And it gives you a coupon too. So it says because you bought something at early in the morning or in the afternoon, then what it does is it also emails you another coupon for like 10 to 15% off if you buy something else again for dinner.
Oh my God. This is the oh man. And then delivery trucks, it's gonna be I can tell somebody on. Is that complex? No, okay, never mind. Then the delivery trucks are gonna be delivering food to the place. It's gonna be automated thanks to Tesla. This is amazing, man. Okay, let's move on. I'm getting kind of excited. This is from Engadget. This is by David Lumb on June 1st. Alibaba's new autonomous robot delivers packages at a modest pace. And I haven't read this. I'm gonna assume modest means slow. All right. Unlike its car vending machine concept, what? Okay. Alibaba's idea for robots have been more mundane and mainly confined to warehouses. The same kind. Okay, the same kind that Amazon uses. But today, the Chinese e-commerce titan introduced a package delivering bot that uses LiDAR to navigate around. The package locker it carries uses facial recognition to ensure it's got the right recipient before popping open its doors. The G Plus, as it's called, is being developed with Chinese company RoboSense. The robotics outfit lends its LiDAR technology to the robot, which uses it for the same purposes as self-driving cars. I remember, I think it was that car that was driving on non-marked streets. I think that was it. The G Plus is essentially a delivery locker on wheels, capable of carrying packages and food at a sedate and pedestrian-friendly pace, maxing its speed at under 10 miles per hour and dropping it to just over 6 if there are people or cars around. All right. In a press release, Alibaba and RoboSense touted the G Plus as a reduced cost option compared to cars or delivery trucks, as well as being easier to mass produce. The company is testing the unmanned vehicle on roads around its headquarters in Hangzhou and expects to start building them by the end of 2018. Now, and then I'm looking at this in hospitals, especially in the VA. I have been other hospitals. They have robots that deliver medicine or even supplies to different areas of the hospital. So what happens is these robots map out the hospital and they go these routes all the time, so they know the mapping of the hospital. So the supply area will load these hospitals up, orders put in, they'll load these hospital up to orders or supplies. Then they'll send these robots there. Albeit it's a slow pace, but they still get there. And if someone walks in front of the robot, it'll stop for a couple seconds, then go again. Um, I've been seeing those since I want to say 2010. So obviously the technology has advanced. But go ahead and have it, Mike.
I was just gonna say that this is basically Amazon Locker on wheels. And instead of a big drone dropping off a package to your house, you have an actual vehicle with a locker that just opens up for you and basically shoots it out to you. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's an amazing idea. I'm surprised somebody like FedEx or UPS hadn't come up with this idea in the past.
Or the post office. I think they'll be down the line. Post office.
No, not the post office, but the UPS, not the post office.
Yeah, I know. UPS. Okay.
I don't think the post office can survive the next 20 years anyways. I think they'll just go out of business.
Really?
Yeah, what value does the post office really serve to you at this point?
Agreed. I've been hearing that for years, ever since FedEx and ever since email. Really, ever since email came in play, it put a dent. It put a question mark up to the post office.
When's the last time you bought stamps?
Oh man, I ain't bought no stamps in a while. I haven't.
There was a time when the post office, the U.S. Post Office or Postal Service, wanted to tax email so to get people to avoid from using email, and going back to traditional mail. I mean, this is how far they were willing to go.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing a story about big horse and carriage. I know it sound funny. In London, they put in a law they tried to put in a law that cars, there had to be a person walking in front of cars waving a flag to let people know a car was coming. So this type of thing always goes on when a big entity doesn't want to go out of business. It'll try to slow down the progress of the entity that's replacing it.
Mm-hmm. Right, and there's really no use at this point for the post office. I mean, for UPS and FedEx, it's a different story because they do other. They're involved in other lines of business as well. Such as the transport of fragile goods and things of that nature, because they have the resources to move logistics around in a way that the United States Postal Service just doesn't have.
Mm-hmm. And the USPS that just have more people also, don't they?
I think in certain areas, if you're talking about the logistics facility where you do the sorting, I think you probably would see a lot of that. But in terms of the actual branch offices, they don't really, in my opinion, they don't really have enough adequate resources to go around. That's why you see so many people working there for decades and decades.
That means a lot of the government gonna cut a lot of jobs also.
There's really no use for them.
Yeah.
You think about it. I mean, it's just they're not really doing anything innovative, to stay alive. And one of the key talking points that they had, years and years ago, decades ago, was the ability to do banking inside the post office.
Yeah, you did. I remember when I first got a job, man, pay your bills, but still with a check, I would factor into my bills I will factor into my bills stamps. Make sure you got your stamps so I can send my check and all that. This is okay. So, another one from Engadget. Ford self-driving Postmates test actual. What? Okay. Ford self-driving Postmates test actually has a driver at the wheel. It's all about seeing how employees and customers interact with the van. So this is what we talked. Remember we talked about last week how Waymo was going to have both driverless and have human in the behind the wheel to get people acclimated with the type of car. So this is by Chris Hope 9 hours ago. The next time you order food from Postmates in Miami or Miami, oh yeah, I'm going to order from them since I know this. Next time you order food from Postmates in Miami or Miami Beach. Don't and I know people looking at this like, man, you get me out of a job. Um, don't be too surprised if you have to grab your Cuban sandwiches. Oh, they so good from what looks like a self-driving van. Ford latest autonomous delivery test is underway, as the automaker has partnered with Postmates to bring you goods from more than 70 local businesses. But there's actually a driver behind the tinted window. Ford says the Transit Connects give the appearance that they're autonomous vehicles. The trial is all about researching how people interact with what looks like self driving vehicles on both sides of the delivery process. That should help Ford identify and address issues with autonomous deliveries. The company is testing self driving technology in separate vehicles. Ford has redesigned the van for this trial with three lockers, one on one on the side, two on the rear, that lets the van make several deliveries on the same route. Three lockers vary in size because Ford is investigating optimal configurations. Postmates delivers more than just food, after all. Importantly, though, each locker has a pair of cup holders. Come on, really? I know for the drink. I know for the drinks. Importantly, though, each locker has a pair of cup holders for your smoothie secure. When the Transit Connect arrives, you need to head out to the van by the curb and punch in a code you receive via text on the touchscreen display. That will open the locker containing your delivery. The van will direct you to the correct locker using audio prompts and lights. The process works similarly on the other end, with employees getting the codes to access the relevant locker and place the items. This is the first time Ford is testing some features, like the touchscreen, the multiple lockers, and the audio system. The Miami test comes after a domino trial in Ann Arbor, Michigan last year, and it's been a long time coming. Ford said in February the trial will start the following month. The trials will help Ford shape the final design of its self-driving vehicles, which it plans to roll out in 2021, which is really 2.5 years. This stuff between now and 2025 is a pivotal moment in human history, and we're living it because you keep hearing about these specific years, and this is pretty cool. And I remember in Domino videos, YouTube, not YouTube, I say YouTube, commercial videos, they was talking about the little bitty Domino car that would deliver your hot food. That's okay. Hey
Yeah,
man.
Domino's collaborated with Ford for automated delivery of pizza.
Okay, this. Look at that little bitty old bag, man. People gonna be ordering like a pop or a soda. People just gonna be ordering like the smallest things.
Well, because that's the culture of being an American. You know, you're
Yeah.
fat and lazy.
Like, hey man, I'm thirsty, man. Let me order a Dasani.
Hmm.
Like what? The 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 delivery cost is gonna cost more than yeah. You're right, fat and lazy.
Hmm. I mean, it's only a matter of time before it gets to the hood, and you know, dudes start ordering St. Ides and whatnot. Let me get a 40.
Holy shit! But you know what? You know what's funny about it? You know what's funny about it?
I know you ain't shit.
That's true, but imagine what other people go do. Like no, like Mexicans or white folks. They gonna order like the dumbest shit too. You just gonna hear on the news. Man orders, uh, what? Man orders ribs that can't fit into the whole entire order can't fit into the thing.
Hmm.
So like 2 trucks have to come. Like, come on, man. It's just gonna be funny, man.
Hmm.
But hey, that's true. People be ordering the dumbest stuff, or hey, it's just gonna be funny because I know people, and throughout my life living, throughout my 30 some odd years living on this planet, looking back, I know people do the most head scratchingest thing. Like, why would you do, the dumbest thing? And man, social media gonna act a fool on this once this get acclimated into society. I can't wait, man. It's good technology. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's like ordering $3 worth of food on Uber Eats. Shit, the tip start out at $4.
Hmm.
Anyway, man, let's move on. This is from wait, did you have anything else to say about this?
No, I'm all right.
All right. Dollar Wheel. All right. This is from FT.com. All right, here we go. City issues stark warning on automation of bank jobs. This is from Citibank. Come on, man.
You might have to remove that
Oh my God.
accept and continue
Okay.
the cookie.
I can read past it. It was just they blocked out the words. Okay. Here we go. Investment banking leader eyes future in which machines take over lower value tasks. Citigroup Investment Bank has suggested that it will shed up to half of its 20,000 technology and operations staff in the next 5 years. See, that's within that 2025 thing. As machines supplant humans at a faster pace. The forecast by Jamie Forrestry, president of Citi and chief executive of the bank's institutional clients group, was the starkest among investment banking bosses in a series of FT interviews to mark the 10th anniversary of the financial crisis. So Forsey said the operational positions, which make up almost 2/5 of investment bank employees at Citi, were most fertile for machine processing. We've got 20,000 operational roles. Over the next 5 years, could make it you over the next 5 years could you make it 10,000. He added in comments that he echoes a former Deutsche Bank chief executive John Cryans claimed that up to half of the German bank's workforce could be replaced by technology. If replicated across the industry, the potential job losses would represent a steeper rate of cuts than in 2007 to 2017, when almost 60,000 jobs were cut from 8 of the world's top 10 investment banks, according to FT Research. 2 of the top 10 investment banks were not included in the FT Research. Citi because its data were not available, and Bank of America because its 2008 merger with Merrill Lynch make pre-crisis comparisons futile. Group of worldwide workforces at top investment banks. And this is a bar graph of the number of workforces in each bank. See, you got JP Morgan, which is a little, really from 2012 to 2017, a lot of these investment banks is neck and neck, but the one big change is from HSBC from 2007 to 2017. It this is it cut was 100,000 people from the workforce. Wow, okay. Barclays investment bank boss Tim Throsby said that the future will see a smaller number of employees making more money, while machines took over lower value tasks. If your job involves a lot of keyboard hitting, then you're less likely to have a happy future. Oh man. Richard Node, head of Goldman Sachs International, said there are so many functions today that technology has already replaced, and I don't see why the journey should end anytime soon. Not every investment bank boss saw plenty of room for more cuts. At HSBC, Samar Asaf, head of global banking and markets, said there were not much more to go for technology replacing investment banks' staff. We've got to a point from a risk management perspective where you can't cut much more. I think there is maybe another 5 to 10% to go between now and the next 5 years. Mr. Knowles stressed that technology could create new business opportunities and ultimately new jobs, such as Goldman's fledgling online only customer. Wait a minute, let me read that again. Mr. Knowles stressed that technology could create new business opportunities and ultimately new jobs, such as Goldman's fledgling online only customer bank Marcus. Again, new jobs, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Forsey said his bank would hire in sales and research, what people are doing, the type of work being done by the human rather than the machine will change, he added. Again, another person says other jobs will be created. I don't want to say this time is different because I don't know. I really don't know. But it don't look too promising. Yes. Yeah. This man just can't find the thing. This man just said if you a keyboard warrior, you will be out of a job in the next 5 years. Again, you're gonna have to retrain yourself in a new area of job, which a lot of people are not going to do. You're gonna have your picketing, you're gonna have your uh, uh, complaining and strikes or whatever. I don't know what you're striking about, but you're gonna have all that. But man, a lot of people gonna be out of work in multiple fields. In multiple fields. Go ahead.
Well,
Man.
because you never really improved your skill set. It's one of those things where I've talked to people when I used to work in finance. I would ask people like, are you going back to get, the MBA or some kind of certificate? No, I'm just gonna wait it out. Okay, you wait it out, and the technology will come and displace you. You won't have anything.
Yeah, you can't wait too long.
Yeah, and I've seen those same offices, 80, 100 people get laid off in one season. And people who have been there for 10 and 15 years. And they're walking around with their box leaving the office because technology took your job, and they're angry and they're frustrated. But you really can't be frustrated at the technology. You can't be angry at the company. You're frustrated and angry with yourself.
Man.
You thought you had job security by doing nothing, and it proved that doing nothing is, you know, the downfall for you. So that's the way you wanted to play the game. And a lot of, and it's not just a, you know, a black or African American thing. It's an American thing where everybody thinks that they're owed something. I mean, you can think about it right now. You don't even need a keyboard to use your computer. You can just use Siri or Google Duplex.
Dragon speaks naturally.
Not necessarily Dragon speaks, but some of the more machine learning AI based systems, right? I push a button on my steering wheel and I ask for directions, and it gives me feedback.
Oh man!
And now I don't know if you've seen the new BMWs. Or is it the BMWs? Yeah, I think it's the BMWs. They have you know, haptic feedback. So haptic feedback would be you moving your fingers like a maestro, you know, in front of an orchestra. You know, when they move their hands around to get them to play the note at the right time and things of that nature. Well, in the BMW cars, you have the same thing. You basically flick your hand up and flick your hand down.
Oh, yeah, to control the volume.
Yeah, to control the controls on the infotainment system.
Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, man. I don't want to laugh or make fun of. I don't want to make light of this because it could be a lot of me. When people, when people say, "Oh, there could be thousands and hundreds of thousands of jobs that's going to be obsolete in the future," they are saying that in a nice way. It's going to be millions of people out of jobs in the future, and not every one of them million, like you just said, not every one of them millions of people are going to see the writing on the wall and move and reinvent themselves before the tide comes in. So, which means a lot of people, you can really say half of those people are going to be just, SOL. Okay. Another one. This is from thehill.com. This is by Grace Lorden. This is an opinion post. I think low skilled workers will be the have-nots of automation. Again, we talked. This is a much longer article, but I'm reading half of it, but I'm pretty sure we'll get the gist. Firms that are heavily reliant on low wage workers are actively investing in robotics to replace them and being rewarded on the stock market for their successes. Many of these firms strive to be Amazon proof. Right now, it looks like the likelihood of surviving will bifurcate around the haves and have-nots of robotic technology, some of which is destined to replace low-wage workers. Evidence pointing to this direction can be found in a report I recently prepared on the European Commission's Directorate General for Employment, Social Affairs, and Inclusion. Oof, that just gave me a thought. Estimates from 24 countries reveal that the automation of jobs over the next decade is not divisive along demographic lines like age or gender. Rather, the largest shares of jobs that can be put belong to low-skilled individuals who do low-income jobs. This is different to what has happened before, a hollowing out of the middle of the distribution, mainly affecting male workers. Retrospective evidence that automation has already changed the type of work available for low skilled workers is also commented on here. So, the greatest overall losers in the advent of technology are likely to be low-skilled individuals who currently earn a low wage. The stock market reacts positively to firms reliant on low-wage workers, replacing them with technology. In Britain, online grocer Ocado entered the FTSE 100 for the first time this month. Ocado boasts innovations of cuboid robots that pack groceries for home delivery, robotic fruit pickers, and trials of driverless delivery vans. These are all direct substitutes for the workers they traditionally employ. A deal with Kroger in mid-May secured Ocado as a leader in technology in the grocery retail space. Shareholders have been well rewarded with the stock price jump, a revolutionary force in contemporary retail. Walmart also uses robots to scan for out-of-stock items in their aisles developed by Bossa Nova Robotics, cutting down on tasks done by low-wage employees. Amazon Go allows customers to grab their groceries and pay via their personal phone, replacing cashiers entirely with automation. Please let me read that again. Walmart also uses robots to scan for out of stock items in their aisles, developed by Bossa Nova Robotics, cutting down on tasks done by low wage employees. So, those people walking the aisles, scanning the aisles with the device in their hand, a lot of those a lot of those people are gonna be out of a job. Amazon Go allows customers to grab the groceries and pay via their personal phone, replacing cashiers entirely with automation. So as they walk out the store, scanners scan their phone and the packages, which are going to have RFID chips, and they're going to directly deduct the price from their Amazon account. In the US, 3.5 million people are employed as truck drivers. Wow. Trials for semi automated trucks are happening on public roads in many regions, including the US and the EU. These trials involve platooning, where trucks from the same company drive in a should there be a convoy? Okay, again, this is an opinion piece, but it really do speaks volumes. In steady state, only one driver will be needed per convoy, dramatically decreasing the number of truck drivers on the roads. Sunning Logistics in China has also created a fully driverless truck, Strolling Dragon, that has passed highway scenario trials. The company currently employs 100,000 truck drivers. Many more low wage workers engaged in taxi driving. This is another area where technology will substitute workers in the next decade or less. Waymo, which we've talked about extensively so far, recent successes, recent successes in creating autonomous vehicles are in contrast to what just happened. Okay, they don't want me to read this, I guess. Why did I go? Well, okay. The Waymo, here we go. Waymo recent successes in creating autonomous vehicles are in contrast to the fatalities caused by Tesla's competing technology. Waymo continues to expand, and reports tell us that Uber is looking to use the Waymo driverless car in its services. In its service, I got a question about that. Okay, Fastbrick Robotics has unveiled Hadrian X, a robot that lays 1,000 standard bricks in 60 minutes. I've seen that. Boston Dynamics and Cobalt sells robots, excuse me, that can perform some security guard tasks. Sweetbank uses an AI personal assistant instead of call operators. Mm-mm-mm. Lowe's has introduced a Lobot, which helps customers find what they need in some stores. All of these are examples of technology being a successful replacement of low wage workers. There are fantastic opportunities for investors to identify companies that employ a lot of low wage workers and that are making strides to replace them with innovative technology. So, what she's saying is invest now and earn big rewards. These investors will be rewarded with a higher share price, like Ocado, if innovation affects are successful. I know Dollar will listen to this. The jobs that will be taken by machines are likely to be replaced by other types of work. Non-cognitive skills and abstract reasoning are valuable as they are not directly substitutable by robotics. Troubleshooting, creation, and maintenance of technology are also valuable. Notably, these are skills that are not usually found among the average low-wage worker. It is less likely that retraining options will be made available to older, low-skilled workers, making them the potentially most vulnerable group to job loss and income insecurity. Automation of workers has winners and losers. Policymakers need to think options to capture some of the created rents created by these new technologies to buffer the negative effects of the fourth industrial revolution on its most vulnerable citizens. Okay, man. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think we talked about this earlier. You know, these people fighting for $15 an hour. You know, the more you raise your voice, the quicker the technology comes.
Yeah. She mentioned inclusion in here, and right now, so far, the hot topic was inclusion, diversity, blah blah blah. But that's in a environment of no automation is taking your job. There's plenty of jobs to be had, but people tend to hire people that look like them. That's people know that. So when jobs become fewer and fewer, there's a lot of discrimination that's going to be that's going to be going on.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think we talked about this before, but artificial intelligence is already discriminating and racially against people as it is. You fill out for a credit card application or a mortgage application, and it doesn't go by what you put on paper in terms of your race and ethnicity. Is basically going by your zip code now.
Mm-hmm.
Your zip code has a large population of Black males between the ages of 18 and 34. And you put down enough criteria that fits the model that they're using to discriminate against with the artificial intelligence, then the bank will just say, well, I don't know what's wrong. We don't know why you got denied. It's just artificial intelligence.
Now something else, it said Uber plans to implement the driverless vehicles in its fleet. My question is, will Uber do that, or will they contract people who own driverless vehicles to work for Uber?
No, Uber has patent pending technology like Lyft and Ford and Waymo to actually implement this stuff. Now, whether or not they get some help from somebody else is a different story. But the main objective between Lyft and Uber is to have automated vehicles, driverless vehicles.
So Uber and Lyft will own the vehicles.
Yeah, they'll basically own their own fleet of vehicles, or maybe even work out a contract with Penske or Budget or any of the rental car companies that can hold a fleet of vehicles. Because as it stands, Uber and Lyft doesn't actually have the real estate, to maintain these vehicles. They don't have the infrastructure in place. So they'll probably have to leverage the infrastructure that's already existing through some of the names I just mentioned.
That means invest in these companies now. Well, Uber and Lyft are not public, but when they do come public, that will be
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right, and not necessarily Uber or Lyft, but who else is supplying the technology to them? You know, who's making the chips for these cars? Who's making the tires? Who's making the the other logistical aspects that largely allow these cars to be autonomous? Start investing into those companies.
Yeah. Everything. Dollar here, dollar there. And Dollar Will pointed out community college seats will fill up fast with community colleges becoming free, low skill will be redefined. Yeah.
I think you may see community colleges go away.
Really?
Yeah, those things are state funded, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the community colleges have such low enrollment rates as it is, then they're not going to see any necessity to actually keep the college open. They may end up piecing it out and selling it, or just closing it altogether because it just costs too much to maintain.
Yeah, man.
Which is why you see at most community colleges in urban areas, you start to see that they're taking on seniors from high school, right? They're holding senior classes there because they need the enrollment. If the enrollment drops consistently, then what happens? The next time around, they don't get the funding.
I do see that. I did see that. The high school kids going like the splitting classes. I did see that a lot. Matter of fact, a lot. Like it was like between. It was like a lot of them now. Man, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of until this point. Okay, I'm changing my field from accounting to dealing with computers. Now, I see Sheridan. Me and we're talking about I forget Sheridan Technical College. And go ahead.
You know, you're actually breaking up, so
okay,
you're working out.
All right. Oh, testing. Can you hear me?
I got you.
All right. We were talking. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to find it. We were talking about some things, but one thing that just had to do something to do with this was computers, and trying to find it. Okay, information technology, computers, web, and I'm shifting my focus from, like I said, accounting to this, to not specifically this, but computers. And I don't know every field, but in computers, one thing I do know is information technology. And what I have my associates, What certifications I can get, degrees I can get that I can transfer, that I can transition into.
Well, you have to first take an assessment before you even get into any of these IT programs anyway. So they're going to give you an assessment to see where you stand. And that's all dependent on some of your assessments, because they need to test your aptitude on the ability to actually understand this stuff. I know there's a lot of people who do enroll, and they usually get in, but some of the more competitive programs, you're definitely gonna have to take an assessment first before they let you go in there and sit in some of these classes. What you could do is you can what they call audit in the class. You can basically go in there and go. You won't get any credits, but you can sit in the class and just hear the lecture and what goes on inside the classroom from a workflow perspective to try to get an idea. It's just something that you really want to get yourself into.
Okay. So let's say a person do that and they headstrong and say, yeah, this is what the future is going to be. I have no choice. If I don't want to get left behind. It's either sink or swim. I'm gonna have to learn. I have to force myself to learn some of this stuff. What are some how am I trying to say this, like entry level things to get into, just to get their feet wet before they go deeper?
Entry level in terms of a job, or are you talking about the learning aspect?
Repeat that again.
You said entry level. What are you referring to? The job itself, or are you talking about the learning aspect inside the classroom?
Learning inside the classroom.
Oh, I mean, all community colleges, all colleges are going to have the same intro to computers, 101 or 102, 103, whatever it is. If you have to go below 101, then yeah, you may have a problem. But
Now
the entry level
I
aspect,
did like the one.
but
I did like the 120 stuff like that.
Mhm.
I did that already,
Mm-hmm.
which is still lower level, but I didn't go below 100.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I didn't know where you really stood, so I threw that out there. But
Mhm.
I don't know if the community colleges, at least the description that you just posted is something that I would actually advise anyone to enroll in. Those are mostly service based.
Breaking up a little bit. Okay.
Now, I was saying that those are mostly service based opportunities that they're discussing with that program that they have in mind. Cisco network administrator and things of that nature. That's not really a innovative driving type of program. It's more of a I don't want to say babysitter, but it's basically network support, customer support, that type of deal. I don't advise somebody such as yourself to really get into that, because that's not really the game changing field that you want to be in. If you're looking at growth, then you want to start looking at BI and DBA, so business intelligence and database administration, as well as data science. I don't know if any community colleges have it in your area, but if you go online to something like EDX, you can find some free programs, college programs that are available. You just got to enroll in it, and then you can pay like $200 for a certificate to have it printed up and sent to you. But those are all college accredited programs.
You say EX?
EDX.org.
EDX.org. Okay, yeah.
So Echo, David, yep, X-ray.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm stuff that's how you put it, groundbreaking stuff that I can hitch my wagon onto and ride the wave as it gets popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it all depends on what your level of learning is. I'm a visual learner myself. I can read, but I also learn quicker if I'm using the visuals more than if I actually read. I only read to supplement my my knowledge, but I'll catch on better if the whole program is mostly visual. So it depends on your level of learning as well.
Okay. You say you actually learn better if what?
If it's visual.
Okay. Yeah.
If I can see it rather than to read it, because reading it doesn't really give me the full picture. So I need something that's going to give me the frame itself.
Yeah, me too. I like to learn in more I'm not saying I rather learn like this, but I like to learn in the autodidactic type of way, where you hands on and you making the mistakes and learning from your mistakes, and you doing that instead of the I know, well, I would just say, instead of the lectured, you getting talked to sleep. I want to be on the computer punching in the lines of code and things like that. That's how I learn. That's how I'm able to retain the knowledge. Because if I gotta sit there and just be talked to, you're gonna lose me in within outside of 15 minutes. So
Yeah, it gets dry. Yeah.
yeah. Making the mistakes, I'm fine with that. I will make the mistakes because with the cryptocurrency, I've made mistakes, and you better believe I learned my lessons. You know, I learned my lessons. I learned my lessons. But yeah, I'd rather learn like that. I'd rather be hands-on learning. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
If I was you in that position again, I'll be looking at data science. So if you can, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Learning and changing yourself. All right. I am with it. DBA, and I've heard that before. My I forgot what I got to look at the name of the course. It was 120. He was telling me, yeah, DBA is a good field to go into.
Yeah, database administration. It's definitely it's always a demanding market for it. I mean, the 90s really killed it. I mean, if you were an Oracle DBA guy, you were making 150, 200,000 right out the gate.
Jeez.
And that was the 90s money. Today that would be something like $300,000, $400,000. So
to the moon, baby, to the moon.
I put the link in the group chat.
Okay, let me
as an example of one of the data science programs.
Let me try to bring it up. Bring it up.
So if you look at the when you open up the site, if you look at the bottom, it says what you'll learn. It says how to learn and clean real world data, how to make reliable statistical inference from noisy data, how to use machine learning to learn models for data, how to visualize complex data, how to use Apache Spark to analyze data that does not fit within the memory of a single computer. So now they're talking about building supercomputers using data science.
And after this, will you get like a certificate?
Yeah, you get a certificate, but these are also college accredited, so you could take it to another institution. But they have a whole program set up where if you take 4 or 5 or 6 of these programs consistently, because if you look at the bottom of the page, it says courses that are additional with this. It says Python for data science. That's another one. Probability and statistics and data science using Python. Machine learning fundamentals. Big data analytics using Spark. All of these programs go with that actual.
So this is a great continuing education site.
It's the first free college education site. The whole purpose of it was Harvard and MIT got together and decided to dump all their courses from previous semesters onto the internet so people can actually learn and get a degree for free.
Okay. Other than this, I'm definitely gonna bookmark this. What's some other sites that you know of that people can get like certificates and things?
You can use Udemy, UDEMY. That's pretty good too. Just for I only use Udemy just for learning. I don't use it for certificates because they usually have cheap cheap learning material on sale weekly.
Okay, yeah.
So you can pay $10 and get some pretty good stuff and download the app to your phone.
I know about Udemy. Now, what do BI stand for?
Business intelligence. So business intelligence is how you drive the platform or the line of business that you're going to be controlling. So you're taking the business from an administration standpoint, and you're driving it with some form of intelligence. So you're using data science, and you're using using algorithms and whatnot to leverage the line of business.
Okay.
So a good example of business intelligence would be something like Coinbase. Coinbase doesn't have a physical brick and mortar store that you walk into or branch that you walk into. They're online cryptocurrency hub where you use to buy cryptocurrencies. And the business intelligence aspect is how do you harness people, which is a human resource, to drive them into Coinbase and things of that nature, and get the results of bigger profits and more distribution and things of that nature.
Okay. Gotcha. This is, man, when the stuff like this, I can just go on, just continuously learn, and I'm good with that. And yes.
And there's more programs on there. There's I had signed up for, I think what's his face? Noah. I think Noah has signed up for the artificial intelligence one that I sent out some weeks ago.
Noah be, I'm about to, man, Noah be hiding some what he doing, man. He got to share with the hive, man. He's got to share with the hive. Cause man, Noah's smart. Noah is smart.
He's also young too. So
all right, man. That's okay, go ahead.
No, I just do the artificial intelligence
okay,
program in there. Click on the link.
Let me get on that. Noah be hiding the goods, man. We doing that. Okay, what? Okay. Yeah. Oh man. And you can get, oh shit. Man, you making me excited, man. Ooh, I have no problem with this. Okay, so
what are you referring to?
Institution, huh?
What are you referring to?
The what's this? Artificial intelligence. You can get a some type of certificate with this, right?
Yes. It's a micro master certificate program. So you're basically getting a mini master's degree.
Man, if whoever listening to this, man, we should charge for these YouTube fee. In the future, we gonna charge, man. We gonna make some money off this. Actually, I'm gonna use all that money to pay for this. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if you look at the bottom where it says what the courses are, it says artificial intelligence,
breaking up
machine learning. No, I was saying that if you look at the bottom of the page where it says courses, the courses say artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and animation and CGI.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. You broke up. You said actually if you then you just was breaking up.
Well, what I was saying was if you look at the bottom of the page of the artificial intelligence, and you look at the courses that are additional with it, it says machine learning, robotics, animation, and CGI motion.
Okay. Because what's interesting to me, because I'm on these cryptocurrencies Discord channels, and I'm always on there. Excuse me. I'm on there every day just because the ones I'm investing in. Excuse me. I'm on there just to make sure it's announcement. Because it's still the early stages of crypto. So a lot of people don't know of different altcoins. So they're always hiring people saying, yeah, give me your LinkedIn page. I'll look at it. And so they're always hiring. And this, man, I can be part of a crypto team, and golly, man, this is I don't want to curse, but this is okay. I'm just coming into this. What are some good programs for me to start out? I do now. I'm gonna look through this. I'm gonna look through all these course subjects and cipher through this and see which ones I want. Trust and believe it's going to be a lot that I want to look at, and I'm just gonna be emailing you, say, hey, which in order, which ones are good and which ones that according to what I want to go get, which ones doesn't it doesn't even fit in that. Is what I'm trying to say. But most definitely I will be on here. You man. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You still there? And Udemy, I already got an account with Udemy. I did some
Yeah,
accounting learn on
yeah.
that.
You actually dropped from the hangout and then came back.
Oh, really? Okay. What I was saying is I'm gonna look at these the course subjects, and I'm gonna look at think just by looking at this and say all search about, but I'm gonna look at the computer science. I'm gonna pick what courses I'm interested in, and I'm just gonna email you and how you let me know which ones are good together and which ones that doesn't fit, which ones doesn't fit, what basically want to go to. But I'm just look at the list of these. And I love Excel. And they got no, that's not Excel. That's what's this? If they got Excel here, oh man. But yeah, I am with it. Okay, now for someone just coming in, they see the coming tide. What's something just based on this website? What's something good to start with? Just to start with, or is that too broad of a question?
That's a very loaded question because if you don't have a direction of where you're trying to go, then there's so many other things that you can be doing.
Okay.
You have to actually narrow down what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're just trying to do, if you just want to get into information technology, then you're going to look at the computer science portion. It's going to give you intro to computers and things of that nature. If you're trying to get into, like I said, data science, then the data science thing is already it's already broken down for you and what you should be taking and what you also need to supplement yourself with. Most people don't fail these programs anyways. The only way you can fail is if you don't show up.
Okay, so just show up.
Go through. Yeah, if you can't be late for an online class. I mean, I mean, you can probably say, yo, I missed the bus or something like that, but you're in front of a computer, so
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my dog ate my USB drive.
It don't work yet. Hey man, it's been a good hangout, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm gonna definitely look through this. And I'm gonna I understand the computer field is broad, but I'm just gonna go, Google is your friend and just end through this and see what do I like and try to fit, and with that try to see what field I want to get into. But man,
there's only 3 pillars of information technology that actually matters right now. It's like, I think I've said this before, is that which is cloud, data science, or data engineering, and then you have compliance and security. So I work in the security aspect, and I work in the cloud aspect. So I have two of those three pillars covered. If I wanted to get into data science stuff like that, I can actually do that. My nephew actually does data science himself, so he works for Oracle.
So you say cloud. There's under IT, the three pillars, the three main pillars are cloud, data science or / data engineering,
and security and compliance,
security and compliance,
or risk management is what they call it.
Okay. Risk management. Risk management. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to look into this, man. I'm definitely going to look into this.
You know, I think Damiente is in community college too for same programs that you were looking at.
You know what? I'm gonna have to holler at Damiente. He holding back the good knowledge. No, but yeah, man. Like I said, it's been a good hangout. I'm gonna look into all this. I said they got Python here. I remember you mentioned Python a few weeks ago. Blockchain and cryptography, cloud computing. Oh yeah, you know what? Yep. And I'm gonna, once I do this, I'm gonna update you all on my progress. I'm not just gonna say I'm gonna do this, don't do it. No, I'm gonna hold myself responsible.
Don't get
All
kept
right.
back.
Huh?
Don't get kept back.
Oh no. Not me. All right. Because you know I'm around people that is giving me this nuts. First, I wasn't around people that I can go to and really ask about this. Now I am. This is coming, so I have to use it to my advantage. I feel.
Well, you in Chicago. You in the hub of blackness.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. But hey, any last comments?
No. Well, we coop on this on Wednesday. Geopolitics.
Yeah. I looked up some stuff. It's some stuff been going on. G7 conference and Trump meeting with
Or six versus one.
Boy.
Yeah, Kim tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. And all that. Yeah. But with that said, thank you all for tuning in to Automation Monday. Some good stuff talked about. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that said, I'll talk to you all later. Peace.